Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos celebrate their 30th wedding anniversary in May. The couple famously met on the set of All My Children and eloped to Las Vegas, Nevada in 1996. They share 3 children but didn't find their forever home until 2013. The talk show hosts purchased a 5-story townhouse in Manhattan's Upper East Side for $27 million that year. They renovated it in their own Art Deco style and plan to live there for the rest of their lives. The longtime couple are empty nesters now that their youngest son graduated from college earlier this year. With their kids starting their own lives, the couple scaled back their holiday celebration. They visited their daughter, Lola, for Thanksgiving. The live hosts spilled their Christmas plans with People magazine. They told the outlet that they had low-key festivities planned again. My goal is to cater as much as possible. My new outlook on life is to do the least amount of work possible when I'm not working, Kelly Ripa shared. We'll be cooking and hosting, but not too much, she added. Catering at Christmas may seem a little bah humbug, but Kelly Ripa and her husband do enjoy the holidays. The couple has been secretly adding holiday cheer to NYC for years without anyone knowing. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos spilled their little secret to Entertainment Weekly. The couple admitted to secretly decorating a construction site near their home. We sort of decorate the front of our house. Next door is a construction site, and they've let me decorate the construction site, she said. The talk show hosts asked permission first. Mark Consuelos described the site as a green-paneled wall like a Tiffany box. Kelly Ripa said she puts up a big red ribbon to make it more festive. She said that it's a popular spot for photos. Sometimes she even gets Christmas cards from friends with the festive site in the background of Christmas photos. This has been a 7-year construction project. The past few years, they don't know it's us, but they'll send a Christmas card of their kids in front of our house to us, and I love that, she said. The couple has kept the secret for 7 years, but now everyone will know it was them. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa make Live a Delight for viewers around the holidays, too. They host a special episode each year where the audience dresses in homemade Christmas sweaters. Mark Consuelos said it was his favorite episode to do. Tell us in the comments what you think about them secretly bringing holiday cheer to NYC. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos had a secret that smelled faintly of pine and fresh paint, and the city had been carrying it like a small, delighted rumor for 7 winters. They lived in a house that, even on the gloomiest November morning, seemed to remember how to look like a party. Their 5-story townhouse on the Upper East Side was a compact museum of Art Deco bravado. Brass doorknobs that felt like old coins, tiling that caught the light in geometric applause, and a stairwell that had been coaxed back into emerald dignity. Years before, on a soap opera set, she and he had learned how to fall in love in public. Their real-life elopement to Las Vegas had taught them how to keep things private when they wanted to. Their 3 children had grown to the sound of laughter and the click of cameras. The house kept their echoes like pressed flowers between the pages of books. By the time their youngest left for college, life had taken on a sweet, precise sparseness. They had the rhythm of 2 people who had been partners through hot seasons and long winters. They cooked less, laughed more, and began to treat the weekends like a private festival that didn't need an invitation list. Kelly's new philosophy to do the least amount of work possible when not working had an unexpected effect. It made quiet things extraordinary. One of those quiet things was a construction wall. Next door, A development had staggered along for years beneath a green-paneled skin, the kind of temporary architecture that cities wear while they are being invented. It was taller than a person, but less interesting than a mailbox. It had been designed by a committee to say absolutely nothing. It wrapped the site like a bland green, present waiting for someone to remember what treasure meant. People passed it every day, and most people did not see it. They saw only the edges of the city, the taxis, the pigeons, the hastily draped scaffolding, and they kept moving. Kelly did not keep moving. She walked with an eye for human frames, for the small stage where ordinary life performed its most honest acts. A child holding a parent's mitten, a couple arguing about soup, an older man adjusting a sailor's cap as if he were making a salute to nothing in particular. The wall, to her, was a face without a smile. She liked smiles. "It looks like a Tiffany box that someone forgot to wrap properly," Mark said the day she described it. He had been watching the house rearrange light across the living room while she told him about the dull green. They were renovating, always renovating, a lifetime project in brass and needlepoint, and this kind of observation came naturally to them both. "Then we'll wrap it," Kelly said. They asked permission because that is the kind of elopement they believed in now. A small request, an agreement, an act of mischief carried out with consent. The construction foreman shrugged and said anything to keep the crew pleased. They were given a patch of permission, as people give spare change, with an almost embarrassed generosity, and they took it tenderly. The first red ribbon went up on a weekday before dawn. Kelly held the spool while Mark looped and tied. Neither of them made a spectacle of it. It was the smallest revolution. A scarlet strip tied in a bow that glowed like a punctuation mark against the green. It made the wall look like a gift someone had finally decided was worth giving. The city noticed. At first there were smiles. Then there were photographs. Teenagers began to lean against the green and red backdrop and angle their phones as if they were painting themselves into a postcard. A woman in a fur coat stopped and kissed her partner in front of the ribbon. A child tugged at his father's sleeve and insisted they take their holiday photo there. The ribbon had a way of agreeing to be a place for people to practice being joyful. It did not stop being a small joke, but jokes have their own gravity. People began to bring tiny ornaments and tuck them into the ribbon's loops. Paper cranes appeared like paper snowflakes. Someone taped a string of lights that fizzled and then shone steady as the watch of a lighthouse. A baker left a tray of mini mince pies one morning with a note for the people who like to feel surprised. A florist came by and added a sprig of holly because you are supposed to add holly if you want to look like you mean it. They did not tell anyone at first. Secrets that make people happy are naturally shy. The couple would stroll by as if they were passing friends and watch from across the way, seeing the city make itself into a set for the best sort of human drama. People arriving, people pausing, people remembering something they'd almost forgotten. That kind of history is not without its soft alchemy. The ribbon began to accumulate stories. A woman convinced herself to say yes to a second date there, deciding that if the world could be so small and green and sudden, perhaps there was more room for unplanned things. A man brought his elderly mother so she could see what a public surprise looked like. She posed as if for a portrait and left with the ribbon's bow still dusting her smile. A boy with a camera took a picture of a dog that was doing something remarkably indefinable and posted it with a line that read, "Found happiness in the middle of a job site." The post collected more likes than any respectable dog photo should. One winter, when the city was pinched thin by snow, Someone wrote a poem on a scrap of cardboard and slid it under the ribbon. The poem read like a private spell. If you tie a ribbon to a wall, the wall will remember how to be a door. People folded the cardboard into hearts and tucked them back in. Kelly and Mark kept the secret because secrets have a temperature. They were the